stars, through the airwaves and on the big screen. Coming to you live from Hollywood, it's Rated G Radio with your host, Garrett Miller. Okay, everybody. Zoe, I think we're good. If you want to try calling in, I think we've solved the mysteries of the pyramids tonight.
Okay, let's give her a shot. Okay,
thanks, my dear. Okay, so for everybody that kind of hung out with us, let's see. Okay, so I'm just replying to Mandy Lynn at Operator Customer Service at Blog Talk. I will keep going and watch the clock. Okay, cool. I'm going to put thank you, and there we go. So for everybody who has been trying to call in, now is the time to call in, and we will officially start the show. So it's going to sound like it's like a 90-minute episode tonight. Now, if you listen to the replay that I'm going to do on YouTube, because all of our Monday through Thursday shows are now rebroadcast on YouTube, I'm going to edit out the first half an hour of the show, so that way it's going to seem like we just started the show right now, so you still have a nice 60-minute broadcast. There we go. So with that, let's bring on Miss Zoe Niclaus. Zoe, how are you?
Well, I am wonderful. How are you doing?
I am just ever so happy that live radio lets me just kind of, wing it for a half an hour while I get something fixed. I have no idea what was happening, but they were like, please don't start the show over. We need to replicate this. And I'm like, okay, I've got a ton of people listening. What do you want me to do? Stall. Okay, there we go. I know.
Okay,
crazy, right?
We can do that.
Exactly. So this is the start of the show. And so I'm grateful for your patience, Zoe, and I'm grateful for everybody who kind of hung out in the chat room and also the people who are now calling in for the show. We're going to and I got your message before the show, Zoe. There's a bunch of stuff that you want to talk about first, so we're going to do that before we start taking calls tonight. When we start taking the calls, I'm going to try to get everybody pre-screened ahead of time. What information would you like ahead of time? I'll get their name, and then is it birthday, month, year, or anything like that you would like ahead of time?
No, just the first name, and that's great.
That's it? Okay, cool. So everybody, this is just your warning ahead of time, because now we've got a half an hour to be streamlined. When Zoe starts talking, I'm going to go on to the hotline end of this, and I'm going to come to everybody who has pressed the button that they want to ask a question, and I'm just going to ask for your first name, and I'll put you back on hold so you continue to hear Zoe as she is sharing her information with us tonight. So Zoe, I'm going to turn the reins over to you, and welcome to the show.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on again. This is just such a wonderful medium tool to reach people and to talk about things like getting a reading, doing healing, and so on. So last month we talked about healing. So I would like to add on to that a little bit more. We want to talk about tonight resource tools for healing. So there are 3 points that I would like to make regarding healing, and I'm going to kind of breeze through this due to the element of time here. So the first point to make is that healing is an exchange of energy between the person and the universe. What does the individual want to do? Is the person going to choose to accept the healing, question the healing? Are they going to cancel out their healing? It is very important to understand that regardless of the person or individual facilitating the healing, so tonight, for example, myself, this is still an exchange of energy between the universe and the individual. With that being said, when healing is received, not just given but received, it's so important to have the feeling of gratitude and joy. Sometimes the messages from the healing, because within the healing are the messages. Sometimes within the context of the healing, the individual may have questions. They might be a little bit perplexed. The information may not hit right on target according to what they were expecting. So with that being said, the next point is that healing is always in time and on time. So what does that mean? After we have experienced this beautiful exchange of energy between ourselves and the universe, people may feel like, well, the healing happened. When is it going to kick in? The point here is that the results of the healing, it will always be in time and on time. So much according to the person, but according to the universe, creator, God, Buddha, whoever the person connects with spiritually. So that's fine. So we can do a massive healing today for one person and have it go on for 3 hours. Their life is absolutely changed and impacted. And then tomorrow morning the person wakes up and asks, what happened? I don't feel anything. Well, this is partly the ego kicking in. It's also partly the argument of between the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. A little bit of a battle there. So again, healing is in time and on time. Is healing an absolute? It can be. Healing can be an absolute. However, it's important to understand, as we just discussed in the second point, healing is in time and on time. So when it comes to the healing, healing does occur in layers. And when a person receives healing, it's going to be in stages and in steps. A person can come to me, for example, and say, I want to talk about a job. I'm having problems with my work. How can we fix this so I can get promoted and move on? It sounds like a simple question, yet it can also be a very loaded question. Once we break down the intricate details of all of the components within that dynamic, then we go back and we start addressing, back to point number one, we begin the healing, exchanging the energy between that person and the universe. Will the answers, will everything happen right now just because we did the healing right this minute? Well, again, healing is in time and on time according to the divine plan. Finally, is the healing an absolute? Again, it can be. This is also up to the choice of the individual who is receiving the healing. Is it possible to get a nice, full-on, long, dramatic healing and then say, oh, I don't know if it worked? Well, guess what? That will cancel out the whole process. So that's the first 3 points. So the next question or the next chapter is, what can we do to hang on to these resources? What can we do to say, well, yeah, I had my exchange. I'm accepting the healing, I think. I know it's going to happen when it's supposed to. I agree that perhaps it might take 1 or 2 or 3 sessions or experiences or whatever. How do we return to the point of balance? There are certain tools that we can take to help reinforce the healing. Again, the subconscious mind is so receptive to everything, whether we like it or not. This is a time when we can reinforce key words, key colors, where we can integrate something that the person can gravitate back to. When they find themselves in a moment of what I call crunchiness, what can they do? We can integrate a special key word. It doesn't matter what it is, or a special key color. Doesn't matter what it is. The point is that once they can go back to that in their mind, whether it's the color pink or the word love, whatever their choice has been, it is possible to integrate that back into the subconscious mind so that they can think it, feel it, smell it, taste it, and go back to that inner place of balance once again. So that's the long and short of a really long speech. So if you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm just taking myself off of mute because I've been typing and doing all kinds of frantic things behind the scenes, Zoe. So that was great. Okay, I'm ready to take it like a deep breath and jump into the calls. I'm hoping that everybody else is ready too. I see a couple more people that have pressed 1 since I've screened calls. Sharon, I want to thank you for dialing in. And I went to go screen Sharon's call, and she goes, I'm just listening tonight. So Sharon, I put you back on hold. But we're going to start the night off with Marcus calling out of Southern California. Marcus, you're live with Zoe. Go ahead, please.
Hi there.
Hello, Marcus. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you? Thank you for being on the show.
Yes, absolutely. It feels wonderful.
I was excited to be able to listen to you tonight.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for joining us. How can I help you?
Well, I was just wondering if you see any romance in the future.
Romance. I love this. So in your world of romance, I'm sure you've been proactive with it. So Marcus. First of all, there has been a bit of a block there. It comes from your family in this lifetime. Would you like to release that and open up a flow towards romance? Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do that. And that's integrating right now. And Marcus, next question or next statement, I should say, one thing to do for yourself regardless is to make your list, write down all of the qualities you're looking for. One of the main points to look for in any shopping venture of romance is it the equal exchange of energy. Pay attention to that. So in your world of romance, I do see something coming up by fall. I would look at the month of between October and November. It's very nice. It's an autumn-y type of thing. It's somewhere between Halloween and Thanksgiving is what it feels like to me. Stay open because part of your pattern has been to say, okay, is what it looks like. It's inside of a box, and it has A, B, C, and D. Does that sound familiar?
Of course.
So here's what we do. We get out the hammer, we crack the box, we throw it in the fire. Next, we stay open. You have your little list, and ask from God or whomever you pray to for the highest and best. Stay open. And within your list, yes, be specific, of course, absolutely. Write up your menu. However, also be open to how this presents itself to you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, excellent. You'll have to keep us posted.
I will do that. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
You're
Marcus.
welcome.
Have a good
Thanks
night.
for calling.
I have a question for you here, Zoe. So, in a lot of the things that I'm hearing, and I hear people always say, you have to stay open. How do you, if you've always been a certain way, how do you make your body, mind, and spirit kind of switch on that I'm open type of feeling so, you're ready for it when it starts coming towards you? Because, I think that's one of the challenges that I have, in different things that I'm working on. It's like, I tell myself that I'm open, but am I open? How do I know that I'm open? I don't have like a sign that says, you're open.
It's a very good question. That's why I'm laughing because, number one, I think all of us have been there. Okay, I'm open. Okay, the shop's open. Hello, I'm
right.
sitting here at my little lemonade stand, and nobody wants my Kool-Aid, right?
Right.
So, open. Open also means being aware and being mindful. And even though we are looking for romance, is it also possible then that it can come in the form of a really good friendship? It can come in the form of other links, shall we say, besides, okay, I have the heart over my head, please come find me right now. This is a reason for a list. This is a reason to sit down and write down the qualities person. What are we looking for? Do we want high integrity? Do we want high character, sense of humor? Do we want a raw, edgy type that'll just jump on our Harley and go? You know what I mean? So part of being open means, of course, being open to the possibilities, maintain the awareness. Most importantly, loving yourself enough and to have those qualities in your head. What we want to do is mirror back, draw that in like a magnet, okay? So, yes, we can have the energies. Are we already holding space within ourselves for the energies that we wish to manifest right now at this moment? Are we already a magnet from within so that we can connect with that individual? Sometimes folks will say, yes, I'm looking for romance. I hope I'm okay. I hope I'm worthy enough. I hope they love me. And the work begins within ourselves first. And I think, and it's a very fine line there, but this is where some folks kind of miss the bus a little bit. But do they really miss the bus, or is it just a point of awareness? Eventually, I think pretty much all of us will figure it out. The most important thing is to remember to manifest those qualities, that magnetic, whatever it is that we are looking for, to manifest that within ourselves first and to maintain that awareness. That way, Mr. or Mrs. Wonderful may come along. It may not be the exact packaging, but we will then sense it on a quiet heart level, that attraction there. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Now, I think that's great for people who are looking for a romance. I'm not into that category. I'm really very happily single. However, I'm hoping that you'll tell me if I'm thinking about like other things in my life that I'm looking to attract or draw into my life. I would probably use many of those same principles, the list writing, and just being very clear about the things that I really want to be achieving or working towards.
This is correct, because with the clarity on our part, then it's like the universe says, oh, okay, yes. Okay, we understand the recipe now. This is what this person wants. Oh, they want to go on an adventure to Europe and go by foot with the knapsack on their back. And they want to have all inroads, all resources there and available. Is it possible to create that? Yes, it is. In the same way, whether it is work-related, friendship-related, whatever it is, when we have a very clear picture of what that will look like, when we can see it in our mind's eye and then bring it into our reality right now, that's the power of it. This is also the power of manifestation. Manifestation does occur, which goes along with attracting that what we want. However, it comes back to that point of clarity. How clear are we feeling about what it is that we believe we are seeking in this moment?
And my last follow-up question on this, and I'm hoping that other people out there are resonating with this tonight, is there a specific way we should write our list? I have some people that say, only write what you want. Don't write what you don't want. Make sure that you're writing it in a certain way, because if you write it in the wrong way, you're going to be attracting the wrong things. Do you have a kind of like a checklist that you follow when you sit down to write a list?
In some ways, yes. I am a certified theta healer in both DNA structure and soulmate. And when writing a list, yes, we want to keep the words positive. The thing about saying, well, I would like this, but I don't want that, it does cancel things out, because it's the message that the universe gets is, yeah, I want this, okay, great, but I don't want this. Oh, well, delete it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with the list, choosing power words, keeping it positive, there are many who believe that writing a list on a new moon is powerful, and I have learned this from different astrologists. Making a list of things we wish to manifest on the first night of a new moon is also very powerful energetically. However, if a person does not hold that belief, yes, it is possible to sit down, write your list. One of my favorite tools is dictionary.com, because within dictionary.com there's also thesaurus.com. And it's a neat tool to go in and throw in a word and find different other power words besides a common power word. Anyway, keeping it positive, making it a statement or a declaration versus writing it with a question in your mind of, will this really come true? I don't know, but let's give it a shot. Let's see what they do. Well, if we respond that way, they'll say, okay, we'll toss you an orange instead of an apple. So clarity, 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 clarity. Remaining positive. Not incorporating the statements, the words that will cancel out the beginning of the sentence. Yes, I want this, but let's cut that word out completely. Another word, by the way, plays into that is the word hope. And many people believe that the word hope is a positive thing. I hope it happens. I hope you're doing well. I hope. The thing with hope is that it's actually a link of question. Hope means, well, I will falsely accept this and take this in. I do take this. I kind of think it will, but I half think it won't. It's one of those dicey words. In fact, I just came from a 5-day conference, and that is a word which was suggested to sort of delete from the vocabulary because it doesn't allow for the solid manifestation of possibility of what we are looking to create.
Well, I'm never going to use the word hope again.
And there you go.
There you go. Okay, so let's jump back into some calls here. And thanks, everybody, for being so patient tonight. Sorry for the technical snafus, but we are ready to rock and roll. Our next caller is Donna. Donna, you're live. Zoe, go ahead, please.
Hi. Hi, Zoe. How are you?
Very well. How are you, Donna?
Good, thank you. I'm enjoying your show, all of your information. I'm taking it all in. I wanted to know if a job's going to be coming up for me or a windfall, or I'm a pretty lucky person. I entered sweepstakes too, and I won a car and a couple trips and all, and I just wanted to know what do you feel toward this?
Okay, well, what's interesting is that you already have created a pathway of manifestation towards generating money. And the money is already coming to you in different ways. One thing about money before we actually answer your question is this. Money is also energy. Money, it represents the energy of the law and attraction. So that being said, it sounds like you have incorporated some definitions of how you wish to receive money. This third thing called, this third item called a job, it's going to also spin from your perception of what does that mean to you. What is the energy flow between you and the word job? Okay? Okay, because I believe that what I see is that many people, when we use the word job, we may as well use just a swear word or one of the worst words in the world. You know what I mean? So with the term job, it's going to include the spin-off of the perception of your feelings about what is it about job. You do have a block there regarding job. So would you like to have that cleared? Let's put love in its place and get this integrated. And what is the favorite color of yours?
I like blue.
Blue? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be okay with you if we incorporate the color blue with the word job? And what we're doing in this process, Donna, is integrating a different feeling when you think of job, okay? So that's being done for you right now. And what is it with your belief about job? You are hosting a belief that money is not possible with a job. Does that sound familiar to you?
Well, yes. It's kind of like a catch-22 because I'm on disability, and so for me to work, I'm kind of I have to find other creative ways to bring money in, and so I say that as a job.
Okay.
Yeah. So entering all the sweepstakes and all, to me, that's like a job.
Exactly. And there's other ways to create and to co-create with the universe and yourself to open up that flow of energy. So would you like to do that now through Creator and feel safe in the process and know that this is all possible?
Okay.
Okay, so that's being put in place right now with your permission, of course.
Okay.
And finally, with the word job, you're also looking for something to fit into the world that you are creating. So this is another perception to add into your color blue. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
This is yet another facet. So So with all of this being said, and with this new facet coming through, in terms of work, in terms of job, that which you are seeking, which will complement the other energies that you have created as well, it's going to be a little while, probably before the end of the year, if not sooner. I actually see January at the absolute latest. So in the shopping process of looking for jobs, again, be very specific about what it is. It will need to be X number of hours. Are you looking for office work? Are you looking for telephone work? It's important to go through your criteria of what does that mean to you and also what it feels like to you. So should you choose to do the homework, I do see you working. I do see you working, well, not only receiving the employment, but working the employment no later than the first of the year.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You got to keep us posted.
You're
Have
welcome.
a great night. There we go. Good news is coming for Donna. That's awesome. And then our next caller is Sophie. Sophie, thanks for waiting. And you are now live with Zoe. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, guys. Yes, I love the name Zoe. Such a great name. Fun. My question is, I have a friend who I love very much, and she fell out of my life for a couple of years, and she's back in my life, and it was such a wonderful surprise. And then recently I ran into someone who I also lost touch with, who wasn't a longtime friend, but somebody that I liked. And I'm wondering about a gentleman who I do care for and have had a long-time bond with. If you see a reunion between us, because you know how they say things come in threes. So.
Yes, I do. And, 3 is a wonderful number. It's an anchor number. It's a number of balance, body, mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, however we choose to see that. 3 is an excellent number. And, yes, I do agree. When things happen, it always seems to be in threes. So, anyway, regarding this gentleman and a bond, first of all, the bond that was shared in days gone by was one chapter of both of your lives. At present and going into the future, you're both in different places. You two continue to retain a special respect for one another due to that bond. Okay? Mm-hmm. So in the future, is it possible to have yet another chapter of sharing a bond? Yes, it is possible. I'm just taking a look at this in my mind's eye just a moment here. So this can start anywhere between 7 to 8 weeks from now on out to about 6 months from now. Okay. So it will be both of your choices. It does feel like to me that it has been and currently or can be a good friendship, which is wonderful. Yeah. And in the end, what I do see is a golden bond. It's kind of like a little thin gold piece of paper around the two of you. Again, it will be both of your choices, and it does feel like there will need to be some detailed conversation between the two of you. And again, it's mutual. It feels very friendly. It feels also very respectful. So overall, yes. Sophie, it feels very good to me. So continue to be casual and take your time. Things happen in time, on time, as we said in the beginning here. And it feels very favorable. So I wish you the best with that. Yes.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. It means somebody getting on a plane and flying. So, and it's quite a distance. So, but you see some conversation about that.
Yes, and it will be important for both of you. First of all, it's very practical to have that conversation, to see where both of you are at and look at the possibilities. And on both your parts, there will be a comfortable openness and definitely the respect. What's beautiful about this bond is that the feeling of respect is very strong between the two of you. And that component will always be there for both of you. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and that's very true. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your call,
Thank you
Sophie.
for calling.
Thank
so
you,
sweet
guys.
of her.
Bye.
For everybody who's calling in tonight, we're going to try to get to as many of you as we possibly can, so know that. So if I've screened your call, we're going to do our best to get to you before the end of the show tonight, which will be in another 35 minutes. We've got some time to go. But Zoe has on the Facebook page, on the Blog Talk page for the show tonight, a link to her website so you can book a private session with her. She's also giving you, just out there in the open, her email, phone number, and then also her Facebook page, so you can go there as well and send her a message if you would like. So if you would like to have a more in-depth reading or talk to her in more, in an expanded time slot, do that. I think you will have a great time. And our next caller is going to be coming from Laura. Laura, you've been very patient as well. Thank you for waiting. You are now live with Zoe. Go ahead, please.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. Hi, Zoe.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Like the other caller, I'm also looking for work, and I've been doing some interviews and putting out resumes, and I just wondered if you see that me getting a job anytime soon with any of the companies.
Okay, first of all, what I really feel with your energies is this: you are actively doing your footwork. You're showing me that you do both the computer work and the phone calls and walking around asking for applications, even though we know that most of everything is online anyway. So you have been diligent with the footwork, the legwork, and all of that. I do see the work coming. It's just simply going to take a little bit longer. We're kind of in a phase. We are in what we call Venus retrograde for 6 more weeks still. What this means is that people in our lives come back around for some reason for lessons that we needed to learn more closely, and or these situations such as what you're presently doing. So for the next 6 weeks still, Laura, it's going to be more of the canvassing, retaining your diligence, being very forthright about it. With you, I do see an office-type setting. It feels like it's relevant to the medical field. Anyway, within the context of that, have you gone to temp agencies yet?
I don't go to temp agencies. I do. Recruiters will contact me, and I've had 4 interviews recently with a company I was supposed to hear this week sometime. Mm-hmm. So it kind of sounds like from what you're saying, I might not have gotten that job because I was waiting to hear this week.
Right, not necessarily, though. Hang on to, if it's something that you wish to have, that's one of the orders you can let the universe know. This is what I would like. The employment, with you retaining and securing an actual position, like between now and day 1 of your working, I do feel you will be working by probably between early to mid-October is what it feels like.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah. And continue to be diligent. For August, it's still going to be a little bit more of this. September is going to bring something more solid in terms of an interview that will feel grounded, which will feel solid. And also, it's something that will be far more interesting to you. You're shifting your perception of reality right now from I really need work to you're transitioning over into, well, okay, if I need to work and I'm going to be doing this X number of hours a week or a month, what would this look like? What would it feel like? And what would it feel like when I receive those paychecks? Again, the paycheck is an exchange of energy between you and the universe. So part of what you're going through, Laura, is also perception. So start visiting those areas when we break down the thing of, I am looking for a job, I need a job now. Okay, what will it look like? What will it feel like? What will it smell like? What will the exchange be? How will you feel when you receive that exchange of energy called a paycheck? So start focusing on that, visualizing that for yourself. That will help bring the manifestation to you much quicker. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate
You're welcome.
Thanks,
You're
Laura.
Bye.
And that will be great to hear from Laura when she has her next update. So that's cool. Laura, keep us updated on what's going on for you. And our next caller is going to be Antoinetta. Antoinetta, thanks for being so patient tonight. You are live with Zoe. Go ahead.
Hi, Zoe. Thank you for taking my call.
You are welcome.
I would like to know if you see any changes going on in my household.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay. It feels disjointed. It feels like there's been a lot of up and down emotions without getting too detailed about it. It feels like there's been a push-pull of internal power amongst two different people. Does that make sense? Okay. So with this push-pull of power, that's going to come to a different level. It's going to come to a head in a whole different way.
Okay.
So the positive side of this, it sounds like, oh my God, people are going to scream. Well, again, we are presently in what we call Venus retrograde. Venus is the love planet. It includes everybody, though. So for this purging to happen, it will finally release all the built-up residuals so that the air can finally be cleared. This is going to happen much sooner than later. It can happen in a matter of somewhere between 3 to 4 days, out to 5 to 6 weeks. So the window of time we're in right now is very critical and applicable to your household. Now, when this purging takes place, the fallout will be a little ugly. However, you're going to be very surprised at the resolution, and there will be shifting or movement of one of these individuals involved. And when all is said and done, it's going to be more from a neutral place. The person will feel more or less like it's over with. There is no winner. There is no loser. They're going to realize that this battle has been a battle of egos, slightly on the ridiculous side, but understand the best thing you can do is allow the process to happen, number one. Number two, send them love and healing. And number three, this is something karmic between these two. So whatever is happening between these two people, it has to happen. Once this blow-up happens, and they will kind of go their separate ways, meaning separate pathways. It doesn't mean they're going opposite direction. They'll probably still be parallel to some extent, but it'll just be done. From that point forward, it'll be their choice as to whether they wish to communicate or not, and if so, it will be from a more neutral place. So the hard part for you is to simply allow this to happen, okay? Because, again, your job right now basically is to sit in the bleachers and allow this little Roman battle of the gladiators to take place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you saw somebody coming into my home to live here.
Right now, I do not see that. Later, I do see a younger person coming in, but that's not for quite some time still, probably into the early part of next year.
Oh, okay.
Because right now, so right now the air is being cleared.
Right.
Again, and the hard part for you is to watch, because naturally we feel like we want to step in and fix it and resolve it.
Yeah.
And with that type of interference, however, it can actually exacerbate the situation. It can also exacerbate the karma here, and then you've now written yourself into a story that perhaps maybe it was never your story to begin with, you see.
Right.
So
yeah, I've been
mm-hmm.
sitting back and watching. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So will you have the peace in the end? Yes, you will. And right now, it's important that you allow yourself right now the peace that it is that you need, okay? And for you to surround yourself with love and surround these individuals and your home with love and do your prayers. Yes.
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 Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much, and I will be doing that.
Okay, very good. Keep us posted.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks, Antoinetta. You have a great night. Well, we're getting some great questions tonight. And let's see here. Our next caller is Alex. And Alex, you are now live with Zoe. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Zoe. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes.
My question is, I've done a lot of healing and also been looking for, I went through a breakup at the beginning of the year and looking for a job, and, I get up early, I go, look almost all day long looking for work, and I go through interviews. There's times where I know I've done so well, like I visualize myself working in that place, and I'm so happy after I leave the interview, and then nothing happens. I mean, even I meet all the criteria that they're looking for on the ad, and then I reply to, because I have like over 10 years of experience, so I go into my own profession type of thing, and I'm not getting anything, and so I'm starting, all that excitement and that joy is starting to feel draining, because now everything that I actually put out, and I put out so much of the energy, I feel depleted, and I feel like I'm just getting weaker because I'm just not getting results.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. So after listening to what you just shared, the first thing that I am hearing is this: regarding the search for employment, also regarding some of the healing, there is still a belief within you that there must be a price to pay, that there's a price to pay if I get this job. And the price to pay means, yes, it's freedom, but it's also blah, blah, blah. So are you ready to release the belief that there needs to be a price to pay in order to get employment? The reason I'm saying it is this: each time you're just getting all the way up to the mark, and then you feel like you're being dropped off the cliff. So within you somewhere, and it can be within the DNA, whether it's the DNA or whether it's a past life, that doesn't matter right now. What matters is that it's time to identify this. It's time to validate this with you and say, yes, this is real. And then we need to ask you, would you like to clear this?
Yeah, definitely. Whatever it is that needs to clear, I would like to clear it.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and clear the issue of there is a price to pay to get work, and we're going to ask for Creator to download the direct positive polar opposite and to clear this from you from all lifetimes, from your DNA, RNA, ENA, and your ancestral line, all through Creator. Is that okay?
Yes, that's okay.
Okay, all right. And while that is calibrating and integrating, Alex, what type do you do self-care for your auric field?
I used
for
to
your
do
aura.
But I haven't done anything lately because, like I said, I just feel depleted.
Sure. Okay, the first thing, one suggestion I have for you is to get yourself a black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is excellent for grounding, and it keeps us in our body versus up and flying around. And it's so easy to get very lost in the feelings and emotions of the joy and excitement. Nothing wrong with that. In the process of, it's simply important to stay grounded. So again, I suggest a black tourmaline. I also suggest a blue kyanite stone. that will help to ground your energies and level and balance your energies out. So, with this being said, in terms of employment for you, and I know it's a tough market, there's a huge astrology thing happening the end of September. I believe it's September 27th. Has to do with us going through the photon belt. Not that we haven't been, we have. There's going to be a lot of energy shifting going on, which will also affect the exchange of energy in terms of employment. So that will actually be in your favor. Right now, for the next 6 weeks, as I was sharing earlier with Venus retrograde, understand that right now in this process of the interviews, it's also possible that you're meeting with these people in the interviews to actually finalize stuff from past lives, or you're finalizing patterns that you have had in this lifetime. So that come the end of September, you're going to be in a different mindset. But as long as you can maintain this perception right now, this awareness right now, and we get through this next 6 weeks, for you, I actually see employment for you somewhere between the beginning to the middle of September, which is literally just next month, because you are mentally very adept. You're quick. If I were to sit and work with you one-on-one for 15 minutes, everything would calibrate so quickly with you, you would literally get up and walk away a very changed person. In the same fashion as we're doing on the phone right now, the same method is happening for you. Right now you are receiving all the information you need, because within your healing you understand the exchange of energy that needs to take place. And it's also the art of allowing. So even though you feel doors have been closed, it's okay, because it's making way for more things to come to you. It's also a matter of you allowing yourself to hold on to that belief as well, because it seems like you've held yourself back with what we cleared earlier, meaning needing to have a price to pay called unworthiness, meaning I'm going to do really, really good up to this point, and now my unworthiness will kick me back because I'm really, really not that good enough on the inside. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. So, yeah, and the element of unworthiness, I call it a condition of humankind. 99% of the people deal with the issue of unworthiness in some way, shape, or form. And it plays out in many different ways. So this has also been cleared and healed for you in this conversation. And so wrap yourself up in your mind's eye, wrap yourself up in love, surround yourself with pink, and understand that you are a changed woman. So from this point forward, as you go out, your perception of the exchange of energy is going to be different. You're helping the universe to co-create with you to create and manifest that position that you're looking for. Will you have employment? Yes. Have you decided this? Is the question. Only you can answer within your own self. And are you visualizing yourself already working? Because we can reach into the future and bring those realities into our present. So those are just some little tidbits of information. And like I say, somewhere between early to mid-September, the employment will be there for you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lloyd. I appreciate it. Much love
You're
to you.
welcome.
Thank you, Alex, for your call. It's good to hear from Alex tonight. Good luck to her. And then our next caller, let's see, and here's the rundown. We've got about 15 minutes left. We're going to try to get to, we've got 4 more callers in queue. We have Brittany, Sonia, Selena, and LaShondra, and we'll get to as many of you as we can. Brittany, you're up next with Zoe. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Zoe. How are you?
Hi. Very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I was kind of wondering what loved ones are surrounding me right now. I kind of feel like I have kind of that ability to know that they're there, because, like, I'll always see shadows walk by or kind of hear stuff. So I'm kind of just wondering if you can tune in and see which ones are surrounding me.
Sure, we can do that. And believe it or not, with this one simple question, it's twofold. So first of all, are there loved ones around you? Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. We'll get to identifying them in a moment. What's important to pay attention to, however, is what you've just defined as shadows. Please note the color of the shadows, because anything that's black or anything that is gray, those are not favorable energies, okay?
Okay.
And so this is just general education. Number two, with the talking, is it possible you're clairaudient? Because, yes, that does mean it's what we call one of the clairs, like clairvoyance, clair this, clair that. To me, it feels like you're both clairaudient and claircognizant. Claircognizant means the natural knowingness. You know that you know. And the thoughts and ideas that come to you plays into supporting the gift of being claircognizant. So that's wonderful. The clairaudience, again, also beware, because just like with shadows, anything beyond the shadow of white pretty much is not really going to be favorable for you. With the talking, pay attention to how does it make you feel on the inside, because sometimes those dark shadows can also whisper. Again, this is just like a quick little education so that it can help you with your discernment and your mindfulness of what is the source of this, where is this coming from? Is it actually pure, or are we talking about energies, entities, discarnates, etc.? So, back to your question then, and I hope that helps you, by the way. Because
it
feels
does.
like it feels like to me that you actually deal with this far more than what you're sharing here on the phone, so I get it. Yes, I see that and I know that. So that's why I'm saying use those two rules, because that will help you then in your future say, oh, that's what I'm dealing with? Okay, no thank you. Be on your way. Okay, so all this being said, yes, you have of course, there's a great-great-great-grandmother from the father side of the family who's around you. There is a Native American guide, a Native American guide around you, along with a female. You also have you have 3 children guides around you as well. And the children are there to help keep you lighter on the inside, to help with the element of joy. And the phase of your spiritual development right now, okay? Call upon your native guides, call upon the energies of the shamanism so that you may gain what it is that you need in order to deal with the things that you are seeing and hearing right now. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, that does make sense.
Which is why the triple great-grandmother is coming in too. She also had a similar life as you, so she's simply here to help you with that and to bring forth the wisdom that she gained when she was here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good.
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you for calling.
So much. You guys have a wonderful.
You too. Thanks, Brittany. Okay. And our next call is Sonia. Sonia, you are live with Zoe. Go ahead, please.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call, Zoe.
Hello, Sonia. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Very well, thank you. How can I help you?
I'm calling because today I had a PFA hearing, and I was successful. I was granted a 3-year PFA against someone else. And pretty much everything was settled before we even got to court. Judge just reviewed everything. And the person is going to come this Saturday to pick up her belongings. So I don't know what you're picking up in as far as this. Do you feel everything will go well? I mean, after they get their stuff, and do you feel they're going to move on with their life, or there's still planning something to come against me, or, concocting something. I don't know what to expect now.
Okay. So first of all, understand this is what we call the karmic balance. And between the two of you, it was time, according to the natural laws of the universe, for someone to take initiative and get this ball rolling. So from this point forward, overall, based on what I'm seeing, it's going to be fine. This person, what you're sensing is this individual is having thoughts right now of retaliation more so because their feelings are hurt. You're picking up on that. What you can do is protect yourself, asking God, Creator, Spirit to come in and protect you, to keep your home safe, and also to send this person love and blessings. And it sounds so counterintuitive to do this. However, love will change the vibration of that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And even though it may not be felt on the inside, when we ask for love to be sent to somebody, that's one of the highest and greatest positive things we can do, both for that person and for ourselves, because we are not responding with retaliation. We're responding by asking Creator to send love to that person and whatever it is they need to help shift the vibration. For example, if you walk from where you're at now, you walk across the room and back, you have shifted the vibration of that room simply by the energy of your spiritual beingness. In the same way, retain that level of integrity with this person. Will this person move on and create a life of their own? Yes, but it's important to understand, too, the life that they are presently creating is of their choosing, and it's also their path. So as I addressed with a caller earlier, it is also going to be your job, so to speak, to remain neutral, to allow this to happen, to stay on the sidelines. You've done your part, and whatever this person chooses to do is their choice. You've made your choice, and you defined it by the action and the boundary. And so from this point forward, it's also a matter of you embracing you and embracing your boundaries within yourself first, because this has also been a lesson for you of redefining you and redefining you, where you start, where you end, what's acceptable, what's not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. This was very significant in many, many, many ways and on many levels. So if you can keep that with you and send love to this person, that will help to keep the vibration in a positive way.
Okay. So from this point on, we'll never talk to each other again? I mean, even in the future?
There will be future conversations, yes. And for this time period, for this moment in time, it feels like it's simply going to be neutral for a little while. I do see communications picking up much sooner than later, somewhere in the next 7 to 8 weeks, believe it or not.
Well, yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure, because communications, like, concerning what? Is it like monetary? Is it like just to argue? Is it just, I'm not sure.
The communications will begin from a neutral standpoint. The conversations will also begin due to obligations. So yes, that would fall under finance. Whatever the things are that need to be discussed first, from the legal standpoint, from the standpoint of justice and leveling the ground, yes. So that will happen first, and it won't be for retaliation, no.
Oh, okay.
So
you're not referring to like a lawsuit or anything, right? I mean, I'm not sure.
No lawsuit, nothing legal like that. What I'm saying is the reason for the future communication will be based upon fulfilling whatever needs to be done, such as finances, whatever else may need to be rectified or justified. There will be simply common communication between the two of you versus I have an attorney, you have an attorney, let's fight.
Because we're not supposed to, it's clear the judge said that this person cannot have direct communication with me. And also, no. So I was just wondering, yeah.
Regardless of what the paperwork says, again, I keep hearing that it's going to be neutral conversation. If at any point in time you don't feel safe, of course, exercise your legal rights and otherwise. And also always pay attention. If it doesn't feel right, then don't do it. And look at your other options and other means. So
you're saying within the next few weeks?
7 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, so Sonia, good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
We have to move on. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to try to sneak in one more, and for everybody else who's calling in tonight, and we're not going to be able to get to you because we've got about 5 minutes left. We've actually gone technically a half an hour over, but we started a half an hour late with some phone problems at the very beginning of the show. Please visit Zoe's website. There's a link right there on the Blog Talk home screen there. You can book a private session with her and schedule that on Skype or telephone, and where you go. Zoe, where are you, live and in person? Where can people come and see you, too?
I'll tell you what, I'm still up here in Washington State, the greater Seattle area. I am at Mystical Pathways most of the time. It's a spiritual wellness center in Puyallup, Washington. I'm also available for private sessions. I'm willing to meet people if they want to come to me, or I can go to them. And I'm usually visible at most of the psychic fairs locally. So, yes.
There we go.
And always online and always on Facebook, yes.
There we go. So our last call of the night is going to be coming from Selena. Selena, thanks for being patient. You are live with Zoe. Go ahead, please.
Hi. I'll be really quickly. There's a person that has come back into my life, a guy, and I'm looking forward to seeing him this weekend, and I just wanted to know from you, what do you see in regards to him?
Well, let's see here. This will sound strange to you. First of all, just keep yourself protected. I know you want to see this guy. It's based on a lot of different things, and, of course, feelings, too. Be mindful. Make sure your head is not completely in the clouds about this, because there is something, he's a good person. There's something different, though, with his energies. Just be mindful of where he's coming from and what his energies feel like to you. I really encourage people to pay very close attention to what that gut feeling is saying. So, first of all, it does feel like it will be pleasant. It will be happy. You two will have a great time. I suggest that what you really want to look for is the authenticity of the truthfulness and the integrity within the truthfulness. Okay? The reason is there's something of question with this person. However, it's also something that with communication, it can definitely be talked about and come out in the open. It's not a great big thing. However, there's going to be an element or a part of you that is wondering if you can trust this person. So part of this feeling that's just been identified has a little more to do with you too. Because in your life, in your world, in your patterning of this process, you haven't always trusted yourself first. You've gone external first and then internal. This is a situation that's calling upon you to move forward with how you feel inside first and then take a look at him. Does that make sense?
A little.
Okay.
I've had dreams about this situation to come to pass, to manifest. And
excellent.
And this person to be in my life being sent to me. So I just wanted to know, where his head was at. So, or where you see it going. That's what I basically wanted to see from you, because it's hard for me unless I have a dream. I usually have dreams.
Sure. He's he is in a good place as far as his interest in you. Again, I just wish to forewarn you the dream is one thing, and then manifesting into reality. Yes, just you want to make sure for your sake and the sake of your heart that it is what it is, shall we say. He is excited, looking forward. You have a different level of foresight than what he does. You have a different level of perception and expectation than what he does, but that's okay because we're all different from one another. Is it possible for this to grow into a future? Yes, it is. It'll take a little bit of time for you guys to communicate, spend time around one another. In about 3 months from now, you will feel more clear as far as how this is going to proceed forward. Okay?
Okay. But he's not going to deceive me, right? That's not what you're saying.
Pardon me?
You're not saying deception, are you?
No, I'm not saying deception.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
And with that, Selena, we need to end the show. So I want to thank you for calling in. I hope that works out. Keep us posted. Zoe, any real quick last words of wisdom for the listeners tonight?
Yes, number one, always be mindful that in everything we desire or want to create or do, such as get a job, find a romantic partner, understand there is an energetic exchange between ourselves and the universe. For all that we are looking for and desire and want, that needs to live within ourselves first. We need to co-create within ourselves first in order to become that magnet to draw things to us. Always remember to write the list, choose nice, happy, positive words. And finally, remember that healing is in time and on time. And this also applies to looking for the job, looking for the romantic partner. That, too, also happens in time and on time when things are finally ready. So,
I love
and
that.
trust the
That's
process.
awesome. Trust it.
Yes.
Everybody, go visit Zoe's website, schedule an appointment with her, and go make your life a happier experience. We're going to see you live tomorrow night with Grammy winner Laura Sullivan. Her new single, 900 Voices, is live at 7 o'clock, barring phone problems. Thanks for being part of the show tonight. Have a great night, and don't try to distract us.
You've been listening to Rated G Radio.